Getting ready to podcast, and I've got a sleepy pip, so I'm gonna capture just in case she decides to leave. Hi, Pippi. Say hello. Hello. Hello, and welcome to episode 40 of the Woolverine podcast. This is a channel where I talk about all my crafty endeavours, so mainly knitting, a little bit of crochet, a little bit of cross stitch now and again, and yeah, just bits and bobs, whatever I'm working on. So this format of episode is mainly what I focus on. I do a few vlogs now and then, mainly at Christmas time or Vlogmas, but at the moment the content is just a bit of an update on what I'm working on. And yeah, thank you for anyone who is a follower of the podcast and is returning, and welcome back. And if anyone is new, welcome, and I hope you enjoy what you see here. So my name is Laura. I'm not sure if I said that. My name is Laura and I am the host. I live in Ireland with my family and I have two cats. One of them is asleep behind me here. This is Pippi, or Pip. I call her Pippi. And yeah, the other one is around somewhere. She may make an appearance later. So today is the 28th of February. It is a absolutely beautiful day here in Ireland. Like, the weather has made a turn, so the last couple of weeks has been a bit miserable, and it is corona times here still. Lockdown level 5, which is the highest level of lockdown we have here in Ireland, so it's starting to take its toll a little bit, but the weather has definitely lifted the spirits, and I think the vaccine plan is, rolling out, so yeah, that's an aside. But anyway, that's my mood this week has been a little bit low, so but today is such a nice day. It's sorry, I thought that was the other cat coming. Today's such a nice day, it's kind of lifted the energy and the spirits today, so definitely going to try and get out for a walk once I finish recording here. It has taken me a while to set up the camera this morning, because I am going to try and use my rear facing one, because what I have found is I look at myself when I use the front facing and that is quite distracting, or else I look out the window, which I've noticed I've done many times already. So I'm going to try and talk to you so that I am not just sitting here talking to myself. I also play with my hair a lot and I'm going to try and stop doing that also. All the bad habits that I need to try and break this year. It is Lent, so maybe I'll give up touching my hair and podcasting for Lent. Anyway, I am digressing hugely, and a lot of you are here for knitting content, so shall we get on with that, perhaps? I'm not wearing anything particularly knitted today, and by particularly I mean not at all, because it is too warm. But I am wearing a cool Not Today t-shirt because that is how I feel. I also tried to do something different with my, well, not something different actually. When I was working in the office, going in and out every day, my makeup of choice was, a clean eye with winged eyeliner, and I attempted to do winged eyeliner today and it was a disaster, so I had to take it off, and now I've ended up with panda eyes, I feel, but what you gonna do? Okay, so let's get down to the knitting. So at the start of February, I set myself some goals. They were mainly cut down on the amount of projects that I'm working on, finish some projects that I'm working on, and yeah, that was basically it. I wanted to finish a jumper, finish an accessory, and make an X amount of progress on one of my blankets. I achieved 2 out of 3. So I finished my Love Note sweater and my chanterelle socks, which you can see in the previous episode. I will link it around somewhere so you can have a look at that if that is something that interests you. And I also made a good bit of progress on my Northeasterly blanket, which I will show. I'm not sure if you can see it with this angle. It's here. But I will show that at a more overhead view so you can see. Now I had kind of wrote down how much progress I wanted to make, and I didn't quite achieve that, but I did make a good dent on this blanket. So I will share that. So for March, I will sit down later today and kind of write out my goals for my knitting goals for March. I think it's going to be pretty much the same. Finish a jumper, finish an accessory, and I'm going to switch to my Battenberg blanket, I think, for March. So I currently have 2 sweaters on the go, but I do want to start another one in March also, which is the Timely. It's a cardigan by Libby Johnson or Truly Myrtle on Ravelry and Instagram. And it's a striped cardigan, and I'm going to use my Sweet Sparrow advent calendar held with striped with a solid yarn by Giddy Yarns. But I will share that, I think, more in the next podcast that I do. I also have made a decision on my Bifeld mittens. I was calling them Byfield last week, and I think it's Bifeld because there's no I in it. So I had shared some kind of suggestions of yarns that I was going to use for that, and I've decided to not go with any of the suggestions because I am going to use the colours that I showed last week in a kind of faded sweater, I think, because they would go really well. But I found this gorgeous skein in my stash. This is called Fairy Dust, and it is Shunnock Yarns. She is an Irish dyer, and I picked this up at the last Babbles retreat that I was at. So this with this mohair is going to be my Bifeld mittens by the Little Tailoress. Yeah. Now I know this isn't the best colour for mittens, but I think it's pretty. It's a single skein. I think it'll be a lovely project, and that's going to be my accessory for March. So, and then on my Battenberg blanket is the blanket I started at Christmas. I think it was Christmas Day actually I started crocheting that. So they're tiny little crochet squares, and they are kind of, it's a neutral colour with a pop of colour kind of alternating. And yeah, I'm going to make, I haven't decided how many squares I want to make or how many squares I want to join, but I want to make a stab at that blanket, so I'll share that my plans for that next podcast as well. So I have no finished objects this week, but I do have some progress on some of the projects that I shared last week, so I'm going to show that. So firstly, in my this lovely bag that I got from my friend Catherine in a advent swap, this has lovely cats with some Christmas hats, and I can use this all year round because I don't really care that it's Christmassy. So these are my Yarn Badger winter rainbow socks. This Progress Keeper by Hannah of the Corner of Craft, little hedgehog, kind of shows where I was last week. I was knitting them 2 at a time, so I knit the rest of the foot. So what I have left to do is to do my afterthought heel. So this is the winter rainbow colorway by the Yarn Badger, as I said, and this my heel, cuffs and toe is going to be this navy, and this is a mini I got from Botanical Yarns. So yeah, that is them. So I just need to do my afterthought heels, and they will be a finished object, so they should be done by next week or by the next podcast, all going well, if I don't get distracted by other things. This is the Yarn Badger label. Isn't it cute? And this yarn is 60-20-20 merino, silk and yak. So that's why it has that gorgeous kind of muted brownish note running through it. But isn't it beautiful? Beautiful. Love these socks. Who doesn't love a rainbow? Who doesn't love self-stripy yarn? Oh, it knits itself. Next, I haven't made a huge amount of progress on this, is my test knit for Grace of Babel's Travelling Yarns, and this is my Rosemary and Time jumper. I've showed this many times now. I need to just get a wiggle on and get it done. So I was saying last week, God, there's cat hair all over this. I was saying last week that I needed to get another mini for the body. So there's another little motif at the end just before the rib. So I've knit the length of the body without the motif. So I just need to, that's just, the mini arrived yesterday. I had to order a new one. So I'll show that now. But I did pick up the sleeves. I'm going to knit the sleeves 2 at a time because that's just how I roll. I get bored. So I picked up the sleeves and I have made, I think I've done 5 rows of the sleeves. So yeah, need sleeve island, and then I need to finish the body as well with this yarn. It's a gorgeous yoked sweater. I've shown this many times. This is John Arbon DK knit by numbers yarn. The designer is Grace O'Neill of Babel's Travelling Yarns. And yeah, nearly done. Nearly done. Don't mind this mess up here. I did a bit of surgery. I talk about that more. Oh, you can see this is the surgery side. I talk about that more in the last podcast, actually, if you want to find out about that. But anyway, this is it. I love this yarn. So, as I was saying, I ordered a mini in the grey. So this one here. Ooh, this grey here. This is number 12 in the Knit by Numbers range. So this is for the final motif at the end. I also picked up a second mini of the lighter purpley colour that I was using, and this is 78. Because I wasn't sure which colour I was going to use at the bottom, but I think I'm going to do the grey, but it's always nice to have this. And I was like, I can't just ship 2 minis from, you know, the UK. So I ordered myself a skein of beautiful black. Now, black is I've never really knit with black. I've kind of used charcoal greys on my Tecumseh. I think is the closest to black I've ever used. But I just think this would be a gorgeous hat. So I have an idea of the hat I want. It is colour work. It has pink flowers on it with this as the main colour. I don't know if it exists. I'm sure it does. Or some sort of pattern I'll be able to find and hack, and if not, I can design one. So these kind of colours in here, maybe even the pop of pink, the brighter pink. Oh no, that's not the right colour. Too much yarn. This pink here in there too. Gorgeous. So yeah, that's going to be a hat at some stage down the line, but this came really quickly actually. I ordered it on Monday and it was here by Friday. So super quick by the beautiful people at the John Arbon Mill. So that is my Rosemary and Time test knit. So I really need to get that done by the end of March. So hoping to make a big dent in that in the next few weeks. And what else do I have to share? Oh yes, sorry, I have another project. So I had started this last time as well. So this is the Lizzie Sweater by Suzanne Summers, or So Sue Knits, and it is a brioche jumper, somewhat oversized with kind of geometric triangles, and I'm just trying to sort out my yarn here. So I think last time I showed this I only had the first kind of triangle done, or if even. So I've made a good enough of a progress on this. It is on small needles, so it is kind of bunched up. But yeah, it's this gorgeous triangular kind of pattern. My hair is all over it. Yeah, the fibre content of a lot of my projects ends up being, you know, 90% wool, 5% human hair, 5% cat hair. So that's a fibre, I guess. But the shoulder panels have this gorgeous kind of garter where the colours are alternating. And yeah. So because this is brioche, you have to knit each row twice, so that's why it's taking a bit of time to get a bit of progress on this. Now the top half, this doesn't go the whole way down the body either. I think I've one more kind of triangle section to do, and then I am on to a stockinette body in the main colour. So the yarn I am using this one is Hedgehog Fibres in the colorway Ravelry, and this is on the Skinny Singles base, and this is the Seen the Ocean colorway by Old Maiden Aunt, and I think these go really pretty together. And this is my neon peacock jumper. But yeah, I was really enjoyed knitting on this over the last couple of weeks, because it did kind of take a bit of brain capacity to kind of concentrate on the pattern. Now there is some mistakes which I've had to fudge. So like in some cases I forgot to do increases, but I have added stitches in another place. Then you wouldn't notice unless you're really examining it. I just wasn't in the mind space for ripping back brioche, because that sounds like my idea of hell. So this is what I have, and I'm happy with it, and I love it. And yeah, I think it's going to be gorgeous when it's done. So just plugging away at that, nothing too pressureful on that. So let me just consult my notes here. So I have talked about my goals for March. I have talked about my goals for February. Lizzie, yeah. So I'm going to show you my Northeasterly blanket. So this is a pattern by Skein-Anigans, and it is a chevron blanket that is it can be knit in fingering or DK weight. I'm doing mine in fingering with scraps of yarn, and I will insert a clip of me kind of talking through my progress on that. This is my Northeasterly. This is my pip. So Sophie the Sloth here, which is my beautiful flower crown sloth that I got from Hannah of the Corner of Craft, marked where I started at the start of the month. So I have added in all these. So I finished this strip of these gorgeous yarns. There's some beauties in here. So there's some, this is Botanical Yarns, Kate Celine, Nora George, Wild Rose Yarns, and then some scrappy scraps. But yeah. And this here is where I marked on this strip. So my hope was to finish them 2 strips, but I got 1.5 done, which is not too bad in my books. But this blanket is looking gorgeous, if I do say so myself. Do you like a Pip? Pippy! Pippy poo! She's busy cleaning. She's like, leave me alone, woman. Hi, Pippy. Hi, Pippy. Oh, hello. Say hi. No. No highs. And this is Sebastian. She's going back asleep. Or she's cleaning her toes. Anyway, this is my blanket, and this is the progress I made for February, so I'm very happy with this. So I'll move Sophie up to here now to mark the next progress. So finally, that's kind of all the progress I've made on my projects to date. Finally, I wanted to just talk about kind of just do a pattern highlight. So I'm going to plan on doing one of these every week or every 2 weeks. So anything that kind of catches my eye over on Ravelry or on Instagram, save that and chat about it. So there's been a few actually this week that have caught my eye, so I've saved them all away. And today I want to talk about the painted honeycomb jacket by Stephen West. Pause for dramatic effect. So I spotted this one day when I was scrolling through Instagram. I was just, scrolling along, and I actually stopped in my tracks once this kind of appeared. I just think it is so much fun. So beautiful. And I just think, like, I don't have many cardigans, and I know this is technically a jacket, but it cardigan jacket type construction, and it is gorgeous. So it is knit in DK weight yarn. It's using that, tried and tested Stephen West honeycomb pattern that he is putting out, which I just love, that kind of modular, graphic, geometric type design. It just really speaks to me. And the colours, like Stephen West for his colours, is always just amazing. So I straight away put this in my queue, and this is definitely going to be a labour of love for me, I think, later in the year. I have none of the yarn, so in my head I know what I want to knit it out of. So in the sample that Stephen has, he kind of has a dark and light kind of stripes. In my head, I just want a black body, a black back, and just the sleeves to be them jewel toned minis. I just think that'd be gorgeous. So that is my plan. So even this kind of black with, like, pops of teal and raspberry and mustard and chartreuse, I just think that'd be gorgeous and so much fun and really modern. It's just, I love what Stephen West does for the knitting community. He makes it, modern and fun and really accessible for young people, and for people who like bright colours, and for people who like to try something different with their knitting. And yeah, I just think it's gorgeous. And I know I've seen the honeycomb jumper as well, which is like a yoked honeycomb section. I think that's gorgeous. The blanket is gorgeous. I just really, that kind of design just really speaks to me. So yeah, the jacket is happening. It's going to be like, I'm looking at a hairband I have. I'm going to show you. So I have this hairband that I wear, and in my head, this is what it will look like. So I'm going to use like the jewel toned as my minis with a black background. Oh, it's going to be so cool. I can't wait to have that. So yeah, that is my plan for so I need to shop for the yarn. I need to think about what yarn I want to knit it in, and yeah, that's going to be it's not in my stash. Like, I have nothing in my stash that I could use, so it's going to be an investment. So yeah, that is that. Yeah, I think that's everything for today. I have nothing really else to talk about. I'm looking at the beautiful day outside, and I need to soak up some vitamin D. I hope everyone is keeping safe and healthy and happy and sane and getting out for some fresh air where possible. And yeah, I will talk to you all again in 2 weeks, hopefully with some finished objects. Fingers crossed. And yeah, see y'all soon. Bye. Hello, and welcome to episode 40 of the Woolly Wolverine podcast. Nearly forgot the name of my own podcast there. Is this better? It's distracting me with her cute little fluffiness. Hi there. Am I too close? Too close for comfort? Let me know. Check now. My face looks weird face today. How is this angle? I think it is better. I can see still see the top of my head, cause it's a very nice top of head to be seen. I'm trying to use my blue facing camera so you can see me better. Hello and welcome